Hey guys, how you doing? Squall Tech here. In today's video, we're gonna do something really special because all your DJs out there are trying to find an easy way to hook up your lights, and that is simply wireless DMX. I'm gonna do wireless DMX, and I got my little Janela right here. She wants to be in the video. This is little Scarlett, and little Scarlett. She's gonna help me out, okay? Yeah. She doesn't like cameras. She doesn't like being on camera. So very simply, I'm going to show you how it's done today. Not many people do it. You have to be a technician of some sort to learn how to do this. So basically, you have your fixture, and this is a typical beam. This is a 230 7R beam, and people are always like sick and tired of hooking stuff up and spending so much time connecting everything, especially this. This is most people know this is pretty universal. This is what they usually pick up, something similar to this. Basically, this is your little wireless receiver. And very simply, they take this and put it in the back of the light like this. And then they gotta take the plug and they gotta plug it in, and you need extension cords, and it's a pain in the butt, and they always break it. All your roadies break these things. So this is the solution. We take this and we mount it inside the light. Now the light becomes an all-in-one DMX wireless light. Simple. And I'm going to show you today. I'm not going to do any time-lapsing, nothing, just so you can get an idea how long this would take if you try to do it yourself, okay? This is all you need. You need your light. You need your wireless DMX, which we have right here, with the power. I'm going to show you all my little tricks that I can do. You need yourself a little welding machine right here with some solder. You need a little crimper, crimp some wires. You need a little crimper itself. These little prongs right here. You need a little bit of wire right here, a little extension wire to send juice. A DMX cable. I'm sure many of you have a bunch of these laying around. Instead of making one, you just use this, and I'll show you my little trick, a little clipper, and a drill, and some wire ties. Very simple. I have some miscellaneous stuff here, some caps right over here. I'm going to pull them out right now. Probably need those two right there. Crimping caps. These are basically the only thing you really need. These are all your essentials and a screwdriver, but we'll see how much we use, what we're going to do. Like I said, we're going to do this from scratch, no time lapsing. We'll show you how it's going to work from 0 to 100%. So here we go. You ready to get started? I might narrate while I'm going, might not. Usually when I'm working, I like to concentrate so I get into my zone, and I usually don't talk, and I like to focus. But we'll see how that goes. All right, first we're going to take off our little plate here, our base plate. So we're going to take our screw gun, take off the base plate. It's just 4 screws. And when you're working with something, always put a towel. Work on the towel. The towel is nice because it protects your stuff. I'm working inside because it's cold in my garage. So I figure it's nice and easy here. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to take this off. There we go. It just comes right off. Snaps. There we go. Some would be a little tricky. There we go. And there you go. See, they're starting to see the inside of the light. We'll take this, we'll put it aside. We'll take the fixture, put it right here. And now we'll take out the other side. You want to expose everything so that way there's no hurdles, there's no debris in your way. You want to make easy access. Like I said, here we go. It's only 4 screws on the base. Most typical beams or moving head fixtures like this are the same. They're a dime a dozen these days. There's like 50 to 100 manufacturers. You can find them anywhere. All right. Now, there we go. So now we got our plates off. All right, now we got the fixture. And you can kind of see what the inside of these lights look like. Power conditioners, these distribute power to the inside of the light. One sends to the juice to the moving head and the arms. Likewise over here, you got your fans. Real simple. Now we're not going to touch the main control board, which is in the front with the snap thing. we're going to work on the back because that's where all the power stuff is. So our next step is to take out the screws there. And it's very simply, it's 4 screws right here. We're going to take those out. Easy to disassemble and to put together just as quick. All right. There we go. And the good thing about the towel is too, it's grippy. You can put your screws there, you don't have to worry them sliding off and everything, you know. There we go. Now we're taking a look. We're taking a little peekaboo in here. You see what we got there? We got a power that sends signal to the return, into the fuse, and then into the switch. Turn on the switch. And that sends power to this board. This is a jumper, so when that turns on, it jumps to this other board. And that, in turn, runs up here into the light and into the whole arm mechanism, feeds through here. It's very complicated. It's really amazing how they make these things. So, you know, if you do have some moving heads, appreciate them, because a lot of work, a lot of little details, a lot of little things, a lot of moving parts, you know. It's kind of an airplane on the ground. All right, so what we're going to do first here is we're going to detach the power cord. And that's these two right here. The blue one is your typical speak-on Nutrix connector. You power it on, it's a power con. Power it on right there. This is our juice. This is where we're going to tap into. So when you plug it in, it's going to automatically turn this on. We're going to bypass the switch. The switch is going to turn on the fixture. But we're going to turn this on. We're going to have it right here because it's easy to work with and there's nothing in the way. All right. So let's just detach these. All right. It's very simple. Sometimes it could be a little tough. Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. And you can see where it goes. You think this is your neutral. This is your positive because of the red. So this is your hot pretty much. Okay. All right, now what we're going to do here is we're going to rip. This is going to be our power wire. This is going to power up into our thing. So I'm going to rip like a 1 foot piece or so. Doesn't matter. You do it 1 foot, 14 inches, 16 inches. Spread it apart. I'm just prepping this to get it ready. Real simple. This is a typical 18 gauge, very small. Like I said, you just have to distribute a little bit of power just to this thing here. This is what, like a little 5 volt, really nothing. So we're gonna crimp. This is really nice. Get yourself one of these. They're great. You know, it's like pliers, crimp, cutter, everything in one. It's just a fabulous, fabulous tool. It's like 30, 40 bucks, but it's worth the money. I've had it for a long time and it's still sharp. So I'm gonna actually rip it about 5/8 to 3/4 of an inch. Now I don't cut it all the way through. I take it and then I bend a little bit and I score the coating. You see that? And then all I gotta do here is just pull it right out. Peekaboo. Then give it a twist so it stays nice and intact. Same thing with this one. I like to prep stuff as I go along, so that way it's already ready for the next step. Okay, same thing with that. That's done. Good. So like I said, this is going to tap into here. So how do we do that? Real simple. Now, because we can't tap into this, it's got the heat shrink on here, excuse me. And it's very well made, like, you know, they do it to protect it and stuff, which is good. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go past the sheeting, typically at the bottom of the actual connector. So I want to cut it like right there where it ends. And you can kind of see the bulginess from the heat shrink. So I'm going to just take that and I'm going to cut it just like that. Pookie. And likewise for the other one. Here we go. Pookie. All right. All right, and then we're going to score this one too. Same thing. We'll do about a 1/2 inch or so. This one a little less because it's a thicker gauge. You can see it's like a very thick gauge wire, obviously, because you got a 16 gauge coming in from the power. Some are 14, some are 12. 12 is overdoing it. There we go. So keep your mess there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this. Same thing. I'm going to twist it So everything is intact in case there's a loose little strand. Strand wires is easy to forget one. So when you do this, it keeps everything nice and neat. All right. Oh, very important, you need a pillow. Because when you got your knees on the floor, it can hurt after a while. All right. So you can see on this wire, it's a black and a red. And like we said, we're going to correspond the wires to the same ones here. So the red one would be going into here. So we're going to put this one together. And we're just going to put it like that. And then it's very simply, just wrap it around. There we go. Just wrap it around, going to the front. Likewise with this one. Start from the back. Take it. And just keep wrapping it around. Alright. What I like to do is take your little handy solder gun and just put a little dab so it stays in place. You know? So it can't go nowhere. Just very simple. Just put a little bit of dab. Just let it melt on there a little bit. So if it ever has a tendency of coming apart while you're distributing your lights through your trucks and stuff, there's a lot of bumps and curves. You know, it takes a beating. You want to make sure everything's intact. So there you go. You got a nice little bead. There we go. Put that back. I like to be neat when I'm working. I have a vacuum here too, because when you start cutting all these little wires and stuff, you'll make a mess. So now just to clean it up, I'm just gonna chop off the beginning right here. Give it a nice clean cut. See? And just dump it over here. It's better than dumping on the floor. It's easy to vacuum up. There we go. Now we got a nice solid connection between the two wires. To finish it off, we're gonna put our little prongs on here. I don't know what these are called. I wish I knew. But you could get them anywhere. Any your local hardware stores. You know, Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace, whatever. And just take them, you twist them on. It's very important that you actually see it come through and extend past this barrel. So that way when you crip it, you got the excess there. But not too much, so when you go to slip this on, the little prongs there, it doesn't interfere with it. You follow? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go like that. See, it just passes it. You can see the tip of it. Beautiful. Take your little crimping tool. I like to use this one. Heavy duty. And we just take it right there like that. Set it in place. Put some pressure forward so it's nice and tight. And give it a nice crimp. Beautiful. See that? That's nice and tight. Beautiful. It's not going nowhere. All right? There you go. We'll do the same thing with the other one. Keep it intact. And then, pop. Done. Cookie. That's my word. In case you guys didn't know, I hope you guys use it. It rubbed off on a lot of people. Now, we're going to just take these and put it in its spot and leave it alone. All right? Remember, the red was to the right. Negative was to the left. So we're going to just stick it right in here. And we're going to put it right in its little slot. And then push it down nice and tight. There we go. Pretty intact. Now you're probably wondering, or you got a question, it's like, hey, why don't you put these heat sinks on here? I mean, these shrink wraps on here too, like the other ones. To be honest with you, you really don't need it. You know? It's on there tight. It's not going to go anywhere. You're not going to have access in the light. Close it, set it, forget it. None. Do that again with this one. It's an extra process, but it depends how far you want to go with it. There we go. All right. So now we got our power. This is going to be our power for this here. This is going to actually power our little sickle. Very simple. The short beats trying to plug it in, run extension cords up there. I'm going to show you how it's done, a little trick. All right, so now we got that done. Now what I like to do is prep my XLR. It's right here. It's very tempting. Love to see how that works. I'm going to show you right now. Grab your XLR wire. All right. I have a million of these things. There's no need to make them from scratch. This is how you conserve a lot of your product. I'm sure all you DJs out there have a garage full of equipment collecting over the years, wires and whatnot, whatever is in there. So make use of it. I saved it, I'm going to make use of it. So I'm going to just take it, split it in half, cut it right down. Boom. Okay, since it's this, just remember, make sure you're using the right one. This is garbage. And make sure it fits in here. There we go. And there you go. That's your connection. See, there's no worry about soldering or anything. Now, back in the day when I did this, I used to take these apart. I used to get them without this. Now it's just easier to pick this up. And I do recommend these only because it has an antenna. I feel the antenna is useful. It gives it a little extra. You know, you get that extension there. And I'll show you how I mount this so it's sufficient enough to get a good clean signal, even though it's encased inside the light. All right, let's put that back over there. And let's work on our XLR. So we got the right one. Now we got to figure out, hey, which one's which? I mean, how do I know which pin is what? Very simple. Here we go. So you know exactly how it goes. It just corresponds the same way. Just like this to this. You just have to match the same wire. So we're going to take a look in here just to make sure we line the right wires up. Now there's going to be a ground, there's going to be a red, and there's going to be most likely a white. Now usually slot number one, if you can see on these, most of these, you can always see there's numbers. There's 3 of them. It says 1, 2, 3. 1 is always the ground, which is always the strandy looking wire, you know. 2 and 3 is the only ones that make a difference. Now don't fool yourself. This isn't regular mic cables or speaker wires, XLRs that get sent to your, what do you call it? DMX is completely different. I think they just switched to 2 wires. So let's take a look in here. I'm going to show you what you're looking at. So here we go. So here's your ground right here in the number 1 slot, the black one. Then you have white and you have red down below. So you know exactly how this works. So you know exactly what to cut and place onto here. So ground, white, and the middle one by itself down below is red. That's all you need to know. Then we could just close this back up. There we go. Perfectly good wire. I made use of a wire that's been laying around for a while. No need to buy new ones. No need to make ones. Why spend the money when you have it? Conserve. Okay. There we go. Put that back on there. All right, now we're going to expose our wire and prep it now too. I'm going to try to do this without taking a break. Like I said, I want to do it in full real time for you, just so you can get an idea how long it would take. So let's score that. There we go. Rip it off. Okay, this is the ground wire I was telling you about. That's how it looks. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly disbray it, because it's like braid together, you know. And then there you go. See all your wire right there? Take it all and then twist it. I wanted you to get a nice twisty bead on it. So you grab all of it and it's strong and it's durable. There we go. Next step is to separate the other ones. Now this is insulated. It comes with this aluminum foil and some string. And I think they do that purposely for the wire. So we'll take that. So you got our 3 wires, right? Remember the red, the white. There we go. Perfect. Take our little cutter right here. It's a flat cutter. I find this to be a great, useful little tool. Grab one if you don't have one. You can cut and get into places you never knew you can get to. There we go. All right, since we have all this now, let's prep it. Now, these are going to be our solder points. Now, it's okay to have a lot of meat. Some don't like a little meat. I like to have a lot. It's okay, because you're going to wire tie everything down. Now, what you want to do here, my secret is to cut off about maybe 3/16 of an inch. Remember, twist and pull, and that rips it. That saves you from actually cutting the wire. Some people cut too deep and the wire gets cut. I hate when that happens. So, same thing. That one actually came right out. Full motion. There we go. Okay. That's going to be a little tricky part. What you want to do here is put a dab of solder on here to keep it intact. Alright, so we're going to grab our solder gun. Let's grab our solder. And with the ground one, I like to give it a nice long bead. Alright, just place it on there. Feed the solder. Okay, and just run along. So it becomes one big, nice little solid strand. There you go. Okay? And that keeps it from fraying, coming apart. Same thing with this. And the reason why we do this too is so when you solder it, it has something that it'll stick to. Just give it a little bead. And don't get discouraged if you're not doing good on it. It just takes a little practice. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's only solder. Just remember that. Alright. Alright, so now we got our little wires prepped. Now this one's a little bit long, as you can see, almost a 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to just snip that a little bit because you don't need that much. There we go. Like I said, you just need about 3/16 of an inch. 1/8 of an inch, even better. Less is better. It's not about having more. Alright, so now the corresponding points. Do you remember? Let's go over it again. Here it is. So your ground is right here, number 1. That's going to be the same as that. So if you actually took this, you know exactly how it was. See that? Number 1 would be here. Right there. Okay? So you just have to line up the right wires with the right number. So number 1 is your main ground all the time, no matter what. Okay. Always work with the ground first. And with this, we're going to give it a little nip. Like so. Hold on. Pookie. Okay, let's get our solder gun. Let's do the first one. This is where all the tricky stuff comes in. Now, I'm going to place the solder on here and see if this loosens up. Now, because this was made in China, they mass produce these things. The solder might take a while to, soften up for you. What I like to do is, I like to slowly get it to a gray color like that before it meets up. Let's move that out of there. Alright, so it's starting to soften up. You see it? There we go, there we go. It's soft, it's soft. All you got to do then is just stick the wire right in there so it grabs. Whoop. Oh, too much came out. Sorry. Alright, it's not going to stay. So we go to our second option, which always works the best, I think. Now we got a little pocket. Let's clean this up a little bit. I'm going to put some solder on here, some fresh solder. Alright. Don't feel like you're making a mess. It's okay. It's pretty easy. Here we go. Fresh solder on there. Get your wire in place. Prep it out. And then, okay. And then we're going to just touch our solder. Soften it up. Get the wire in there, okay, and let it close up so it stays nice and tight. All right, now just to be safe, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit more on top, give it a nice solid connection. That's it, just put some more there. That's it. Give it a little blow, let it dry up, and there you go. Now it's in there pretty nicely. Alright, step number 2. Remember, the red one was the one that was in the middle. Remember, we followed that before? So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to loosen this up a little bit. Loosen it up. You might get lucky where it loosens up and you can play with it. But instead of waiting for it, I just like to go ahead and put some solder right on there. Give myself a little bit. There we go. Just save time. Move along. All right, let's put it there. That's it. Keep it in place. Give it a quick blow. Pookie. And there's your 2 wires. All right. Now we're going to get into our sitting position because I got to get comfortable. Sorry about that. All right. Same thing with this one. We got our final one. These are still intact nicely. All right, let's see if this will come apart a little bit. I don't know what kind of solder they use for these, but it's pretty damn strong. You know, I got this set at 70, 270 degrees, and it's still not melting. All right, let's give it a little crevice. Let's put some fresh solder on there. There we go. You see that? You see that nice layer of solder I put on there? Okay, get your wire ready. Let's soften it up and stick the wire right on there so it's covered up nicely. Give it a quick blow. Look at it dry up right to the tip, and there you go. You are ready to go. See that? Very simple. That's basically all you need right now to get this to function. All right. Okay. Now don't worry, you see there's a lot of play here. It's okay, because we're going to wire down some stuff. We're going to use a lot of this wire tie. Keep everything intact nicely. So it's not going to go nowhere. See, I could bend it. It's not going to go nowhere. Don't let that fool you. Okay? Okay. We're going to do the second hardest thing. Actually, I don't know if it's the second hardest or the hardest. I'm not sure. You judge. You tell me what you think. Leave a like. Give me a thumbs up. Try to help the DJ industry as much as I can. I like to divulge my secrets to everyone. You know. Just remember, I make a lot of custom cases. That's what people know me for. But now, when it gets a little bit technical, I feel this can help people not only in my area. I'm from the tri-state area, New York to be exact. People out in the West Coast, throughout the world, Central America. I'm sure people always asking the same question. Oh, how can I do it? I can do it. I actually heard it a bunch of times. And I started doing this. I started doing this for a bunch of lights for people I know, and they absolutely love it. So this video is for you guys, not for my benefit. If you want to call me up and let me do your lights, then it's my benefit. All right, let's just get some of this stuff out of the way here. All right, okay. Now, next up is our little bicycle. Not bicycle, excuse me. Our little power transformer. Okay. So I'm going to take that apart. Basically, that's what you got. You got one of these like this, okay? I was telling somebody one time, they're like, oh, why don't you just cut it and mount it right to the power board? Because the reason why it's a converted transformer is because in here is an actual board that converts 110 volt to like a 5 volt. You know? So you can't do that. You actually need the special board that's in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to conserve this because it's got a nice protective coating, protects the mechanisms, everything in here. I don't have to improvise and try to figure out another way to make it work. So I'm going to make it work with the stuff I have. Why not, right? So let's pop this off. It's just a little screw right there. Oh, it just snapped a little bit, broke. It's very flimsy. Don't get nervous. It's okay if it breaks. It's not a big deal. That's why they have tape. If you can't fix it, duck it. Okay. There's our two wires. You see there's our mechanism in there? We need that because that's what converts 110 to obviously the correct power to condition that. You know? So here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to see these wires. They're connected into your actual extension prong there. So I'm going to grab my little tool, my little cutter, and then get right up in there. If you can see right there. See, I'm going to get right up in there and I'm going to cut. There we go. That's it. Done. Real simple. It's a tiny little wire. A little 24 gauge probably. Same thing with the other one. Cut it, comes off easy. Now, what I want to do here is, I want to still use this piece. So what do we do? I'm going to show you what I do. I'm going to take this, I'm going to bend this. Let's see if I can bend it and break it. I don't know if I could. I might be able to, I might not. Let's see. I did it before, so I'm going to slowly try to take this apart and preserve this piece. If not, we're going to have to jimmy it. There we go. Take off all this excess stuff. Take this. Let's see if I can take these off first. I'm going to bend it. There we go. Try to break it, actually. See that? There we go. See it? Pulled it right out, like pulling a tooth. See that? We're good to go. Do the same thing with this one. Just be careful. It's a very flimsy little board, little plastic covering. I don't want to destroy as much as I already did. Okay. Just slowly wiggle and wiggle, and then wiggle some more. Well, this one broke at its bottom. No big deal. So we're going to just take that little metal prong and push it through. Because obviously it was connected in there. Alright. Let's grab our little handy tool. There's our screw. And let's pull out the excess metal that's in there. There we go. Pull out the other tooth. That's it. Now, I still managed to preserve my little cap. See, this has an opening, but it won't fit in. This is my little secret. I'm going to show you guys. You ready? Look at this. Like threading a needle. You see that? How about that? It's a little tight, though. Let's see if we can get it through. If not, we're going to have to expand it. That's my little secret. Don't tell anybody, all right? There we go. There we go. That's it. Pretty cool, right? Now, next step. Let's grab our little piece here. This is the tricky part, unfortunately. Now, if you can take this board out, that'll be great, easy to work with, but they actually glue it in there. You can see it. You see that? And the reason why they put that little dab of glue in there is so it can't shift and bounce around and loosen parts up. So I'm going to still try to take it apart. I'm going to grab the edge of the board. Don't be afraid. It's only a little board. There we go. And just extend this so you have access to these little prongs right here. See that? Little wires. Now, what I want to do here, just be careful because these are gentle, they're small. You know what I mean? I want to tie these together. So what do I got? About a 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same thing here. Rip about a 1/2 inch. Carefully. Put it scored on the lowest setting. Bend it and let it rip it. See? See how I ripped it? And then just take your fingernails and pull it. Well, unfortunately, this has a little solder in the end, so I have to cut it off first. And now it should come right out. There we go. See? That's your little sleeve. Now we got the power exposed. All right. Same thing on this one. Let's cut. Well, that doesn't have really that much excess on it, so this is the hard part. This is tricky. Okay. Let's just do this. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's cut that little excess off. There we go. Same thing. Scored about a 1/2 inch or so. Oh, this one is not working. This is not coming out. So let's see. Without damaging this, let's see if I can score it. Alright, there's a little bit more there. I can feel it. See it. There we go. That's it. See, there it goes. Okay. Well, it was giving us so much trouble because, I'll tell you why right now. Because this piece was soldered into this piece, so I still had a little bit of solder on there, so you can't feed it through the little sheeting. All right. So there we go. What do we do next? We give it a twist so it stays intact nicely. Same thing here. All right. Grab your little wire. Take it. Put it together just like that from the bottom and twist together. See that? Twist together. Twist it together. Nice, nice. We'll do the same thing with this one so it stays intact. This one's not much to work with, but we make it work, right? We make it work. All right, there we go. Same thing. Twist it around the other one. Place it right there. You got your two wires exposed. Now remember, I just want to take just a little bit of a dab just to keep it together so it ensures the safety of the wire not coming apart. There we go. Just put a little bit on there. Give it just a little bit. A little bit of solder so it stays intact. Okay. Now don't make this feel like it's so intricate that I'll never be able to do it. Don't discourage yourself. Like I said, it takes time. You know, I've done it quite a few times. You live and learn. You know. Next step. Take our two little caps here. These are tiny little caps right here. 16 gauge, I think. 18, I believe. And we're just going to give them a little cover. That way, we don't have to worry about anything happening. Take it and run it right up to the sleeve on that ring. There's a little metal ring that keeps it intact there. So we take that. Place this in this position. Right in the middle. Push it up. Good connection. Give it a nice punch. Oh! And there you go. Beautiful. Safe like JP Morgan. All right. There we go. We'll do the same thing with the other one. Now this one we're going to do a little bit differently. Let's get a little smarter. We're going to take this, position it right in the middle of that bar right there. Hold on. So we have it ready. That's it. We're ready. Then what we're going to do is, because the wire is so small, I can't really work with it. Keep it pressed there. Push it on. It's in place. And give it a good bang. There we go. That's it. We are good. We got a nice solid connection between the two. We're going to take this, slide it back, if we could. That's it. And we're going to take our two new little connectors. We're going to stick them into this little cavity here. There should be enough room just to fit that in there like that. You know, if you don't need the excess wire, don't put it in there. Just take it and slide it. All right. Whatever you don't want to put in there, just slide it out. Just take this, put it back in its place. There you go. All right. That's the part that snapped before. You saw that, you remember? Okay. Now, take this, a little screw, put it in its spot. That's it. And then we'll screw it right in. There we go. Tighten it up. Call it a day. Now, if this bothers you so much, there's a little trick you can do. Grab yourself some nice duct tape here, but this isn't duct tape. This is actual, what do they call it again? Gaffer's tape. There we go. And it's about 3/4 of an inch. So I'll take 3/4 of an inch of the scaffers. Take the excess and just keep it here because I might use it later for something. And very simply, all you can do is like that. Look, watch this. Boom. Put it here. Oops. Snap. There we go. Just wrap it around nice and tight. overlap where you started from. Ensure it's nice and tight. There we go. There you go. You fixed it up real nice. And then give it even more. Say I have this little left here. Just to be safe, we'll just put it the long way so it overlaps the one that we just crossed. There we go. Actually gonna move it over a little more. That's the only thing. Don't get it caught. There we go. If you get it caught, it's almost impossible to take out. There we go. Not impossible, I just did it. Okay, go around the wire. That's it. Go back up. Overlap the other one. Perfect. Any other little ones, just close it up. That's it. Give it a nice tight bond. There you go. Easy fix. Easy repair. So, capping off what we did, we got our XLR prepped out, ready to go. We got our power wire. This is all your work, pretty much. Now, just to be safe. Now, don't worry about how anything goes. Now, before we do anything, since we got everything here, it is time to test it out. Okay? Right now, we did everything we need to do to prep this to see if it works. Okay. Now, just remember, this is where you plug it into. So, this is our signal that's coming in right here, you know, usually. But it's going to receive it and send it right to the board, which in turn is going to feed through here and go right into the light itself. Okay, so we're going to take this, we're going to plug it in here, just make sure. Okay. We're going to take our little piece right here, we're going to plug it in right there. Give it a nice little... That's the only thing. This is why you have to do this, because these need power in order for them to work. Now, they do make ones that you don't need the power, but I feel like they don't work as well. I'm not trying to bash the company or anything, but other people that used them in the past weren't too successful. So sometimes it's just better to do it, to buy the proper ones. Now, before we start mounting everything, we always want to test it out before we finish. Once we know it's working, then we have nothing to worry about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little cord. Okay. Oh yeah, right there. Perfect. Thank you. I got my buddy Nicky. He's helping me out videotaping. Thank you, Nick. Yep. All right. So just stay away from the board. All we're going to do is just plug this in. We don't have to turn on the light. Remember, we are actually bypassing the light. We don't need to turn it on. When we plug this in, we should be able to see if our DMX is going to be running or not, our bicycle here. All right. So keep your fingers crossed. Plug it in and turn it. There you go. Look at that. See that? We are ready to go. Now, we know that the power works, but does the XLR work? You know, I have confidence in myself. I'm going to mount and put everything together so you can see it, and then we're going to plug it in, and hopefully it'll work wirelessly. I am definitely going to have confidence in my soldering, and if it doesn't, then hey, like I said, this is real-time video, then I'll look like a fool on camera. So now that we know that it works, it's time to mount these things in a certain place that I think is suitable. All right. Now the best place here is, I'm going to show you, especially this first. Best place for this is on the side, because it actually has these louvers. You know, has these louvers, so it's going to technically be here. And with the antenna being exposed and to the front, it's going to get enough to get a signal. All right. So what I like to do here is, where do you mount it? Where can you mount it? I'm going to mount it to the fan. And my friend said, to the fan? Yeah, exactly, to the fan. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just turn it around a little bit. Just be careful. Okay. Yep, the fan. There we go. We got a better picture of it. Right here. You can mount it anywhere. You can put it on the bottom part of the light. There's plenty of room in here, but I try to keep things away where it's not conflicting with other stuff, you know. Like this is actually a nice piece. You can actually take glue and give it a dab of glue and hold it in place nice. But I'm going to show you my little tricks. Make use of the fan. Make use of stuff that's not yours. Who cares? It's inside. Check it out. See the little hole here? I'm going to take my zip tie. Slide it right in there. See that? I'm going to bring it all the way down. And leave about 2 inches exposed. All right? Same thing with the other side. Let's do that again. Slide it down. Leave about 2 inches exposed. All right? We're not rushing here. There's no need to rush. Take your time. That's it. There we go. Does that look good? So now you're starting to get an idea what I'm going to do. Then I'm going to take my light. I'm going to take my wire. I'm going to bring it up there. So I'm going to keep the resistance away so it doesn't damage it. All right? And then I'm going to place it right here in the middle of the fan. But I'm going to go right to the edge. You see this? This is the connection to release your XLR pin. I'm going to use that as a kick stop right there. You see that? You get an idea. See what that looks like right there? It's a nice little spot for this thing to be. Out of the way. It's enough. It passes so I can put the cover on there. So now watch this. We're going to just take it, slip it in there. And this is a little difficult with one hand. Nikki, with your other hand, if you could, can you, thank you very much. All right. There we go. That's it. Helping me out. We're going to turn it a little bit more. We're going to go down. That's it. Pull. That's it. You see, you got to work with it. I want to keep the nubbing toward the top. Out of the way. That's it. There we go. Just keep the little piece right here. You see where the release thing is? It's like a stop. That's my little secret right there. You see that? There we go. That's it. So that's right there. Nice and intact. The wire's out of the way. Doesn't touch anything. Perfect. Now let's do the same thing with the other one. Okay. Let's just get some of this excess wire out of here. Take this. And same thing. Tie it in. There we go. We're going to twist it around a little bit. That's it. Keep twisting around. Don't worry about it. The light's the fan is pretty durable, so you can play with it. Okay, so there we go. We're going to position this nice. Give it a nice tight. Very tight. Give it a nice tight pull. Get your money's worth out of that zip tie. Pookie. All right, here we go. So that looks like it's intact. See, you got your antenna here. You know, on the side, you'll be able to see, you know, your light. Here we go. And then I just keep this open right there. Because the light's always going to be facing to the front. 9 out of 10 times, most DJs will keep the front of the light facing towards the crowd or the dance floor, so you don't actually see the back part where you plug it in. Now, because this is not going to be good, we're going to cut those little ends off. Take your little crimp thing, your little pliers, and just give it a good and twist. That's one way to do it. These are really bad. I got to get myself a new pair. Sometimes they cut, sometimes they don't. There we go. That time it cut. Let's cut the other one now. Take this side. Let's cut the other one off. Cut the excess. You don't need the excess there. Some people bend it over, but I don't want it to get in the way of this fan. Better off cutting it off. Now that's nice and neat. It's presentable, professional, intact, beautiful. Okay, now we can start putting everything together. All right. Let's position the light in place. Okay, now what I like to do first is, okay, there we go. I want to get this in place first. Okay, so you're wondering where the hell can we put this, right? Very simple. This is just a little transformer. Doesn't do much. It doesn't have to be glued down. It doesn't have to, what do you call it? It doesn't need special treatment or nothing. All you gotta do, take it together, keep it in a good spot, you know? And just 2 wire ties. Very simple. Keeps it in place. Doesn't go anywhere. That's it. It's all right. I got it. We'll take 2 wire ties, right? And we'll start off with this. There we go. And to be safe, there we go. We're gonna just wire tie this right here so it doesn't go anywhere. That's it. Here we go. All right. And then we'll just wire tie this one with the other ones so it stays nice and intact. Okay. Take the excess, put it all together, put a nice solid bond all together. Best invention ever, these wire ties. I don't know which one's better, this or Velcro. What do you guys think? Just let me comment. It's a good question. Zip ties or Velcro? Pretty tough to decide, right? They're both great.
Yep.
You know? All right, cut that off. Remind me, I gotta get another one of these. This is a cheap one, but it works when it wants to. All right, there we go. There we go. So that's it. That's in place. It's together with all the wires. Everything's intact nicely. Can't go nowhere, right? You know, if you want to put an extra wire tie, so be it. All good. Take this. This is your XLR. This one, I just put my excess back here. Like I said, you could take these, you can move them around, put them wherever you want. It's not going anywhere. We solder them down, very nice. You know, if you really want to, you could take it. Boom. See this? You need the extra, what do you call it too? This is all your extras. What I like to do is, this is just extras, so we can just take this, fold it up to its original home bearing here. Okay. I still have the wrap that came with it. Put it back on. Oh, sorry. It's tough to do. And then twist it so it stays together. One nice big ball. Everything's good to go. Bring this like this, bring that like that. You could just take it all and once again, put it together. You could tie it right off to this again. You could tie it all together right here. So it won't go nowhere. You can put another wire tie, don't be afraid to. You know, it doesn't hurt. It won't go nowhere. Yeah, these are power wires, but that's okay. This is not interfering. These are shields, so there's no problem tying everything together like that. Keeps it nice and neat. You know what I mean? Keeps everything nice and neat. Oh, I gotta twist that. Okay. There we go. You gotta be very patient when you're working with small wires and stuff like this. Just take your time. There's no need to rush. All right. That's it. Look at that. See, everything all tied in together, nice and neat. Can't go anywhere. Cut the excess off. There we go. That's it. All right. You're good to go. Give it a test. Make sure everything fits in there nicely. Okay. This is the jumper cable from the other side. We could just stick that right underneath so it doesn't interfere. Look at that. Take this. And we're good. That's it. First step done. Like I said, I'm not going to even test it out. I'm going to put everything together, then test it out. I have confidence. Most people, if you're smarter than me, you would test it out before you put it together. Just take your time putting everything back together. You know, if you remember where everything goes. What's helpful too, if you ever take anything apart, take a picture first. before you take it apart, take a picture of the actual screws that you took out in that one spot. That'll help you so you can correspond it later on. Because you can see these are the same threads, but this screw is bigger and this one's longer than this one. So how do you know which one you use where? So that's why it's always good. Anticipate, go the extra step, take a picture. Your phone, it's not like you're using film, it's all digital. See, everything's nice here. Look at that. Intact, this is here, this is mounted. All the wires are nice. Everything's beautiful. Okay? I'm gonna finish putting this thing together just so you can see. Very simple. Here you go, there's your wireless DMX. Oh, let's turn the light a little bit. There we go, that way it's a little easier to see where we're going and doing. That's it, put that in place. Alright. Now, when you're putting this together, just another little secret. Line it up, get everything in there, bring it in there just before you're about to tighten it, just leave it loose. So if you need a little play to get the other screws in, you will. Now, if you tighten it, you won't be able to play, and then you'll be frustrating. Why isn't this going in? You gotta give it wiggle room. You gotta remember, you're attaching 4 screws in here. You know. It's all got to fit in here somehow. You got to play with it. You got to jimmy it. You know. There we go. See. Now I can definitely play with it because the other one's loose. Let's get this one in here. See? That one's way in, so we got to play with it a little bit. There we go. Not all the way in until you get the other one in. Once you get all 4 in, then you can tighten it down. Okay, we got number 1 in. Now you can go around, tighten it all down. Tighten it all down. There we go. So the right side is done. Go back here. Now, the reason why I'm still recording, I could have stopped this a while ago. I'm going to show you the convenience of this. You guys ready? Just think about how much time you're going to save yourself at every given party, at the end of the night, and at the beginning of the night. Setting up is as easy as baking bread. Alright, let's get that one in there. Now, I did something I wasn't supposed to do. I tightened this all the way accidentally. Remember, leave it loose until you get all 4 screws in. Leave all the screws just a hair loose. And this doesn't just go for lights only. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys assembled, you know, little furniture from IKEA and stuff. Remember, when you're dealing with a lot of screws, put things together, consider some leeway. There we go. Alright. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. Beautiful. Okay. This is going to be the fun part. Let's test it out. Grab myself a wire. You can keep the camera pointed there, so it's okay. Okay. Let's plug this one in. Shut this off for now. Let's plug it in. Let's turn it on. Let's see what happens. Okay, we got power. Power works, the light is on. I'm gonna just take this, put it right on the floor here. Alright. Because we need to test it out. So I'm gonna show you guys something really cool. There. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, gentlemen. I'm gonna just point this out here since I'm doing the video. I made these a long time ago for a bunch of people. This is what we call the original Squall-Tech case. Most of you guys are using laptops and stuff. This is your solution to a lot of the audio, video, and L. So we call this the AVL case. So you can do audio, you can run video, and you can also run your light. So it's an all-in-one computer, basically. And I'll show you why. Ready? Get that. All-in-one computer. This one I actually built for a friend of mine. He wanted it. As you can see on the side here, you got all your connections. You got a power plug, USB for your phones and other stuff. This is your power con. This is your audio out. This is a Cat 5 connector in case you want to hook up. You want to bring it upstairs and go directly into your modem. This is your DMX out. That's your DMX. These are your two HDMI. So if you're running two TVs from your computer, you go one into one TV, one into the other. No worry about hooking anything up. Everything is in here. This is about convenience. This is plug and play. This is plug and play. Done. These are just ideas I'm throwing at you because a lot of people love it. And then we have a USB in case you want to put in your files, whatever, into your computer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fire this one up too, because we need to test it out to make sure the light works. So this particular customer, friend of mine, he wanted this case, he wanted these lights, he wanted wireless, he wanted a whole new computer, he wanted to run everything. So I'm going to show you how it's done. Let's turn it on. So basically, there you go. You got a monitor, and people are like, what's the little one for? The little one is a preview monitor. So when you're running your TVs and you're running your program, this actually shows what's on your TV. So if you're actually behind the DJ booth, you got your TVs out there, you're wondering what the hell's projecting or whatever, you don't know what's going on. This is projecting out there. So this is connected to these two outs right here. Basically, there's a splitter, it's mounted in here. It makes it real convenient for you guys. Now this is really cool. You just turn it on right here. This is a push button. Just push it, and it's going to turn on the computer. Now when I build these computers, they're pretty quick. Probably the fastest computer that will ever boot up. You guys ready? Welcome to the DJ. Boom. Have you ever seen a computer boot up that quick? Now remember, I tell people you get what you pay for. It depends how far you want to go. It's very simple, you know. A lot of people love convenience, so they pay for it, you know. Now, unfortunately, I ordered a wireless controller and trackpad. It hasn't come in yet. This thing is on the verge of being finished, so I have to use it the old traditional way. Beat up keyboard for now, you know. A beat up mouse. And what I could do is, I just hook them up into this little hub right here. Real simple. And this is what's beautiful. Easy access right to USB port. You know, you can put your flash drives in there, transfer your montages in here. You can do everything from here. I'm going to plug that in so that way I can get a working mouse and keyboard, and we can test out the lights. Here's our mouse. Here we go. Now I like to use American DJ 3.0, my DMX. It was a switch from Elation and CompuWare. but that program's so old. I loved it, needed a change, so I decided to go this route. I love it. It's very easy to use. It's very easy, user friendly. It's a great program to do lights. So you can see this is going out to your TVs. You can see it right there. You know, you see the little, you can see it right there, see? Now, but this is about lighting, so let's worry about the light. We still got to test this out. I got to see if I look like a fool or not. So let's try it. I'm going to open up American DJ, okay? Okay. So this is the all-in-one AVL case. This is something to consider. If you guys like it, you know, leave your comments below. Let me know. Okay, so let's load the program up. Program's already loaded up. Let's load up the actual file. So I sat and programmed these lights for a while. Open. There's our file. Let's open it up. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so it's all intact. Now, in order for this to work, remember, we put in the receiver. And it, obviously you can't work without a transmitter. This is the only one thing you have to hook up. And the reason why we don't mount this inside the case and make it even more convenient is because I like to keep the antenna exposed. I feel like it works a lot better. You can get more distance. These can go for a good, I think, 90 feet or so, which is kind of nice. It still works inside the case. I've done it before and mounted in the case. No problems, no issues. Every now and then you might catch a hiccup. One light might flicker in and out trying to catch signal. Technically, these are line of sight, meaning it needs to see to itself in order for it to work. Likewise, if it grabs another one. So, for the sake of argument and mistakes and everything, you live and learn. What I do is I just keep this separately. Plus, you could take care of it nice. You know, it's very simple. You can put it in your bag. You can even put it over here. You can cut this out, leave it in your case with you. You know, whatever. But I find it more useful keeping it outside. This is the only thing you have to hook up. Remember, this is the most important. This is your transmitter. Now, if you lose this, don't worry about it. You can still run your light show wirelessly. All you gotta do is run one wire. And this just happened last week. The transmitter was broken. One of the guys broke in here. It wasn't working. It wasn't functioning. So he was like, okay, how do we fix it? Very simple. Just, we have to order a new one. But at the time being, to get to the light show, just go right in here with your XLR cable and go tap right into your first light. Now, because the first light has a wireless DMX in it, it's going to correspond to the other lights automatically. So you can still get away with it, no problem. But we're going to do it this way, completely wireless. You know, because your lights are never next to your DJ booth. They're either in front, to the side, around the room, or whatever. So let's put this in here. And hopefully, we can get, and then this is the beauty part about this case. I take it, you got your plug right here, all your access is right here, you know. Oh, we got something. You saw that, right? Did you see that, Nick?
Yep.
I heard something. All right, moment of truth. All right, all I gotta do is hit a button and see if it works. You all ready? Okay, wireless DMX, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And it corresponds nicely. No problem. Now I'll park them. And let's see if the strobe works. Is it strobing? I can't tell. It is strobing.
Yep.
It's right there. There you go. There's your wireless DMX, ladies and gentlemen. And since I'm on the subject, like I said, this is a beautiful case. It's great for doing everything, multiple stuff. Now, what I mean by AVL, you do your audio and your video and your lighting. And this is your AV case behind you. And you can have your Pioneer DJ set up in the front or whatever you're using with your laptop. Some people are very anal. They don't like to go online with their MacBooks and they just want to use that one for DJing, which is fine. And this is your alternative right here. But this is an all-in-one. So think about it. Next time you're doing a party, plug and play. Basically, you just turn it on, you plug it in. The only thing you're really hooking up is just this. This never gets hooked up. I just did it today only because I don't have a keyboard and mouse. It hasn't come in yet. That's wireless. It's already here. Beautiful little pad. Nice. But I'm just going to show you real quick how this works. So what's nice is you just minimize this. Your lighting stuff is working. Right now the lights are working, doing its stuff. Now I'm going to run my video program. So what I like to do is run virtual, which is great program. It's been around many years. It's wonderful running videos. It's very user friendly for most people that are novice out there. You know, for the more advanced crew, you probably want to do like a Serato with Mix Emergency or something. But this is how simple it is. You just take this. This is your video, right? This is your program. Now it's going to activate automatically once we put the video in. I'm going to show you why. So let's just take, for instance, here. This is a video. I'm going to load it up into the player. It's already there and it's already hooked up. You see it? There's a screen of what's playing. Let's play it. Remember, it's going out right to your TVs automatically. That's how it is. Your signal's out. All you need to do now is hook up 2 HDMIs to here, to 2 TVs, 4 TVs, or wherever you want to do it, and there you go. So now you got your video and audio. Your audio comes out of here. It's very simple. I made it convenient with RCA because most boards, all you gotta do is send a signal from here to your board, and most inputs on your board, as you know, and in any typical mixer, is unbalanced RCA. And that's the only route you gotta go. So you can't make it any easier than that. Everything is right here. It's an all-in-one system. It's wonderful. You know, not to get off the hand, because this is a video about wireless DMX. But the nice thing is, like I say, you could just go back and forth with this. Go into your DJ program. Go into your lighting program. Run your lights. Go right back in there. Set them up. Let your lights do your work. You know, and just have some fun. You know, go back to your DJ program. Boom. Have some fun. You know, and just run your DJ program. It's a beautiful thing. You know? And that's it. You got video, you got your audio coming out of here, you can run your montages, you can run video, music videos, you know, you can run your splash screens for your weddings and your Sweet 16, so on, etc., corporate parties, you know. It's an all-in-one computer. It's tiny, it's compact, it's very powerful. It's made to spec, so like I said, it's very simple. A preview screen with a monitor, this is all you need. In a case, it's a flight case, it's durable, waterproof corners, everything, the whole 9 yards. You know, you got your push button right here. I made a really cool push button to start the computer up. And like I said, all your connections are right there. Your wireless DMX works. And that's how you do your wireless DMX. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's very simple. I hope it was helpful to you guys. But that's it. But if you have any questions, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if my ideas are great or helpful to you. Until next time, I got more videos coming at you. I'll see you. Bye.